Hi everybody, it's Andy, and welcome again to my office in Modesto, California. I'm an attorney licensed to practice law in California as well as New York. That said, however, this video I'm going to talk about something that is not specific to California and not specific to New York. Hopefully it's something that will be helpful to you regardless of where you live and where your case happens to be. So what I'm going to talk about is my wholehearted recommendation that you go get a scanner. So for those of you not familiar, a scanner is a device that you can take a letter or other hard copy document like this and convert it into a PDF file or a picture file on the computer that you can then manipulate, email, etc. So two reasons why I highly recommend you go get a scanner. Number one is, well actually three reasons. Number one is that they're inexpensive now. Over the last couple of years they've actually gotten very, very inexpensive. You can pick them up pretty much anywhere, I think. Depending on where you live, etc. So that's the first reason. They're very common. The cost hopefully is not something that's going to be very expensive for you. So number two is that if you have a hard copy document like this, you're rather limited in what you can do with it. If you have an electronic version, you can email it, you can fax it, you can basically send it very, very easily to other people. So as hopefully should not be a surprise to you, legal cases, court disputes, etc. are going to be very, very document intensive in almost every situation. So for example, if you have a court case, it's going to be very important what the contract says, for example. It's going to be very important what the agreement says. It's going to be very important what the insurance policy says. And in order for you to get legal help, it's going to be very important for the lawyer that you're interviewing to be able to see those documents first. So if you have them in paper format, you have to mail them, fax them, etc. Deal with lost mail, deal with degradation in quality when you fax something. If, however, you can scan it on the computer, you can email it, and the quality is almost certainly going to be preserved. So that's the second reason. The third reason, which I think is actually going to be something very, very helpful to many people, is that if you can email documents back and forth, and if you can print and sign and scan documents like that, geographic distance pretty much goes away in almost every situation. So for example, if you have a court dispute, for example, or if you need legal help, and you live in a big city, then chances are you have your pick of lawyers that you can go to. In a big city, there's going to be lawyers all over the place. However, if you live in a small town, or if you live in kind of a remote area, you might only have one or two lawyers that you can pick from, and that lawyer is going to be really far away. Not somebody that you possibly like. It's going to be somebody you may not be able to afford, but you have no choice because they're the only game in town. So if you have a scanner, however, and you can email documents, the geographic distance between you and the lawyers in the big city, for example, pretty much goes away. Speaking from my own personal experience, I've had cases where I have not met my client face to face. My client lives on the East Coast, I'm on the West Coast. I scan and email documents to them, they sign, scan, and email documents to me. From my perspective, it's just like if the client lived next door versus on the other side of the country. As another example, I guess, I've also had clients who were in the US military, and they are stationed in Korea, for example. They're stationed on a ship in the Middle East. They are stationed in the South Pacific somewhere. They're stationed on a ship cruising around the ocean. If they have a scanner and they can sign and scan documents back to me, it's just like if they were living next door versus 5,000 miles away on the other side of the world. The geographic distance with a scanner basically goes away. So the precise type of scanner you get is not something that is really critical in my experience. It just needs to be able to take a document, hopefully 8.5 by 11 size, and convert that into an electronic version. For those of you who are very eagle-eyed, I have a Fujitsu ScanSnap back here. You don't have to get that one. I just personally like that one. But if you have any kind of flatbed scanner as well, that works. That should work as well. I'm going to roll in a picture of the other scanner that I have in the office here right now, just in case you guys are wondering what a scanner looks like, I guess, if you haven't seen one before. But anyway, hopefully that helps you. I wholeheartedly recommend that scanners are something like I wholeheartedly recommend scanners to most people. If you have any type of document and stuff, there's a tremendous amount of flexibility that comes if you are able to take that document, convert it into an electronic version that you can then email, print out, etc., etc. So hopefully that helps, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks.